Good news, people. The bottom bracket shell for the Handbike is back, and it's survived an absolute pummeling. This thing has been basically destroyed trying to get the old square taper bottom bracket out of this shell, and the threads have somehow survived. This thing was bonded in with some kind of glue or resin, I don't know what it was, but the fabricator that I took it to, really good guy, managed to get it out after I'd hacked at it initially. You can still see some of the lines here on the face. But what this means is I can finally get the new crankset installed on the Handbike and get it together and get it useful again. The other thing, which is possibly even more important, is that whilst these brackets hold the bottom bracket shell in place, and I'll show you how this works. Originally, if you recall, it was like this. But what I wanted to do was bring it closer to me, which allows me to then push that seat down and make the whole thing more aerodynamic. So it's at 45, but I want to slam it as far as I can and make myself less prone to headwinds. But what my man has made me here is these additional spacers, which he's effectively cut from a block of aluminium, and he's drilled through to take extra long bolts. So he's ordered these stainless steel bolts for me. These are the original ones. Look how much longer these are. So these bolts now are, I mean, they are massive. 12.5 centimeters. What this is going to do is effectively fix here and allow me to really push that seat back, because those cranks are going to be a lot closer to me now. So we've got our SRAM dub bottom bracket. And of course, like all things bike, it's a completely different standard to every other bottom bracket I've got. So my bottom bracket removal and installation tool doesn't work with this because it's a bigger diameter cup. It's 46mm, I think, on these. I'm waiting for a new park tool to come, probably the only park tool that I can actually afford. That should be here tomorrow, but I'll hand tighten it. And what we'll do is we'll see how it fits. So this is a 68mm bottom bracket shell, just about, even though he's reamed a little bit off, you can still about 68, just a bit under. So generally you run two, these are 2.5mm spacers. You run two of these on the drive side, on the right hand side, and one on the left. There's no hard and fast rule with that. If you want to play around with chain line, which obviously I'm going to do once I've test fitted this, I may run no spacers, or I may run more on the drive side. So just make sure we've got this correct. Left, right, it's all very simple. Left on that cup, right on that cup. Look at the size of this thing. these bolts are ridiculous. But actually, you see, look at the job he's done. He's even made this extension piece, this spider if you like, slightly thicker. So I think he's used 10mm thick alley here. Yeah, 10mm. And I think this one here, the existing anodized piece, is 8mm. So he's made that thicker to be more durable. We're just going to hand tighten these in place. Okay, so that's the test fit. So it's so much longer. This is going to be terrifying, actually. I'm going to have to really go quite low with that seat. But we're going to put the bottom bracket shell back in now. So I just dismantle this side so I can slot it in. And so we're just going to take the bottom bracket shell, just kind of loosely position it for the moment. Just going to, because I'm being anal, just make sure we're about the same extension on each side. So we've got about 6mm there on the non-drive side. And actually we've got about 6mm on the drive side, so that's good. And I'm just going to nip these up for the moment to 10 Newton meters. I always try and tighten stuff up in an opposing pattern. That looks the nuts. I mean, it looks weird, but then the whole thing looks weird. But I've been waiting to do this for so long. I always go a bit liberal with the grease, so just put that in. And we're going to just slot this through on the non-drive side. Just make sure that's nice and, yep, it's cleanly located. Look at that, how smooth is that? There we go. Use my immense strength to tighten that up by hand to 50 Newton meters. Okay, so we've got our pre-greased non-drive side. Just going to slide that through. Look at that. This is genuinely an exciting situation. Now, before anyone screams at me, you should know by now, if you followed any of the handbike videos, the cranks are oriented the same way on a handbike for various reasons. Go back and look at the original video if you want to understand why that is. Just going to take our 6mm bit, just tighten this up. Oh, look at that. And we're just going to nip up the dust cover. Seems to tighten the opposite way. So these are just hand tightened for the moment, but you can see, there we go. So there's our new cockpit. So he's now back on. There we go. Look at that. This looks good. So let's now see how much we can get this seat down and see if this is actually going to work.